It's time for everything to change. We're doing a spell to alter our energetic relationship with money, with wealth. This is about embracing the flow. Welcome to the wild. I'm Cypress. This video is the 4th installment of my series for removing money blocks. The long and short of it is that I'm really over being poor and struggling and having my entire reality dictated by when and whether the next check is coming through. So I've been on a journey to sort out resource flow. If you'd like to see more of the process in getting to this point, I'll link the playlist in the description box. But to summarize, for me, this is about combining ritual with shadow work to achieve a transformation in the soul and ultimately to wield, not just receive, the forces of abundance. For alchemy this powerful, we're going all out. Okay, step 1, preparation. A spell is only ever as good as the energy you bring to the work, so prep thoroughly. I prepared a ritual space that, to me, suggests a sumptuous opulence. This will let me immerse myself in the right energy for the spell. And, of course, we need the basics. An altar, a candle, incense, a wand to set the space, and focal objects to represent money and resource energy. For me, this is Garnets. And don't forget to include any deities who can help you here. When you're ready to begin, set the space for sacred work. I like to light a gratuitous number of candles. It's a surefire way to get that spooky, mystical ambiance. Finally, sit down, soak it all in, and scribe the circle. This room is decked, a den of wealth. Now set it well for highest health. Keep this space for magic right, and bless it for our work this night. Step 3, ground. This is a good idea with any ritual work, but especially here since a firm connection to earth and receiving nature's flow is an essential part of this exercise. I even thought about working this ritual out of doors to emphasize the grounding, but that posed some logistical difficulties. And on the subject of grounding, this would be a good ritual to perform skyclad because we're really going for an intimacy with nature's energies. For this video, however, I chose not to, for obvious reasons. Once you're grounded, call in support. You may find this step unnecessary since the work here is very self-focused on one's personal relationship with the flow of wealth. For me, I have a spirit guide who happens to have some expertise in this area. I'm also including Gaia with the deities I call in. She too has had a real presence in this process for me. In fact, this admittedly crude sculpture was made from a lump of clay from the bottom of the 4-foot deep pit I dug, if you caught that video. Guides and gods who ward this work, welcome, thank you as you lurk. Your skill, your power, force of will, your mighty help my wish fulfill. My performative invocation here is pretty vague. When you sit down and call in the specific personages you wish to help you, I recommend calling each one by name, as I did off camera. As your team assembles, it's time to light the candle. I'm using a single white candle here as a conduit for sending my work up and out into the universe. It's a visual reminder that what I'm generating is being written in the laws of the universe. Of course, mark the candle in whatever way seems appropriate to the work here. Symbols or sigils that signify money flow would be appropriate, and use whatever color of candle feels right to you for calling in vast wealth, like gold or green perhaps. I simply anointed mine with clove oil, as that was the most opulent feeling oil I had in my collection. Candle white, candle bright, send my wish into the light. Take my work and make it so. Scribe it with your fiery glow. Okay, I admit, that one was a little cheesy. Adapt your chants to the mood as necessary. But now we are to the real work of this ritual. Step 6 is to bless and consecrate the garnets. So we need to talk for a moment about why garnets. Now, if you end up going with another stone or material because it resonates better for you, I think that's valid. But I'm going to share my associations with the garnets because they are the absolute crux of what this ritual means. Firstly, garnets are jewels, so they are literal wealth. But importantly here, they are also plentiful and easy to obtain. In fact, in many places, they are just littering the surface of the soil because ants excavating their little ant megacities find the stones a nuisance to rooting their tunnels, and they haul them up to the surface as construction waste. So these stones can literally just appear on the ground through the miracle of nature. And that is so much the energy we're trying to generate here. And since they're so plentiful, they tend to be undervalued for cost. They are much nicer gemstones than their price would indicate. So we get more value for less personal investment. See how this is working? Garnets are a great stone to embody abundance. But that's not all. In this ritual, we are connecting the natural flow of resources to the flow of money and to our own personal energetic flow. Our strongest connection to nature is through the root chakra. The deep red of the first chakra is, to me, the same deep red of life's blood, bringing the nutrients and fuel to our bodies. Not to get creepy, but it's like an umbilical connection to our Earth Mother. I am inviting in the unlimited resources of a world in balance, asking nature, Gaia, to include me in this loop. I am receiving that taproot to feed my root, my blood, my whole physical being. And what stone better represents this earthy first chakra energy than the garnet? They are formed in the womb of earth. They are the deep red of blood of the first chakra, but they're also gemstones. So here's where it comes together for me. The garnets are the space where physical wealth and life force energy meet. Symbolically, they are love, they are passion, they are protection. Literally, they are baubles, precious stones, crystals. They hint of the blood flowing in our veins. For me, they embody an intersection of the body's life force and the earth's wealth. They beautifully represent the alchemy I am working to divert that resource flow my way and transform its energetic vibration to material wealth. I also want to note that garnets can be either natural or man-made, and I'm including some lab-grown garnets in this work. Since money and wealth are fundamentally a man-made concept, I think it's appropriate to use both natural and man-made stones here, because we're trying to marry nature's flow with that man-made money. Using stones of both origins helps insinuate that crossover. Okay, that was a bit of a chat we just had. But as we consecrate and use the stones, I wanted for you to have a full sense of their meaning for this work. So now we're at step 6, bless and consecrate the garnets. Oh, and real quick etymology here, because I used an archaic word. Be aware as we chant that the word waste used to refer to the extra, the bounty of the harvest, or the raw, boundless resources of uncultivated land. So apples are the tree's waste and not garbage. Knowing that will help make the chant make a little more sense. Garnets red, garnets rich, jewels bursting from the ditch, treasures formed in a womb of earth, crimson crystals, sanguine worth. I charge thee now, so heed my call. Thy nature transmutes riches all. Wealth of planet, wealth of man, wealth of body, bridge the span. Funnel all these forms through me, as rivers running to the sea. Fill me, gorge me in all haste, and I'll build worlds with all the waste. Let me rage with overflow. Let my prospects flame and grow. Let me wield the fuel of life. Let me damn and banish strife. Garnets regal, blood-red stones, may thy richness be my own. Now that we've charged the stones with intention for this work, it is finally time to call in the flow. For this step, we'll take the stones from the altar. Visualize your rooted connection to the earth and how her abundant flow of resources flows unimpeded into your own body. Represent this by drizzling garnets along the body. Imagine the wealth rising up along nature's own energetic flow up through the whole body, integrated with the blood flow. Bathe in garnets. Imagine the wealthy resource and money energy feeding into your system. Within your body, the intestinal capillaries take up the nutrients and deliver them to every cell. Imagine your blood also doing this with that abundance-charged life force energy. Garnets rich from earth and mud, jewels dark, the tone of blood, strength of body, vigor, health, sign of excess, ease and wealth. Lend thine aspects, yield thy force, seep thy magic through my course. Like my blood flow, nourish me, work thy surest alchemy. Seamless knit the coursing streams of strength and life and solvency. Let my body serve as hub for all these natures spoken of. Let my body host them well. May they root and bud and swell. In my body let them grow, a conduit to all that flow. Let them merge and work as one, all health, all wealth, all nature come. And I can keep them all apace, so let it be a thing of grace. Take as long to garnet bathe as it takes. No rush, no hurry, just luxuriate in being saturated by what the garnets represent. They possess layers of symbolic reference which here generate a multivalent resonance in the psyche. So let it sink in. Let it become an integral part of you. And we will leave it there. Of course, be sure to thank your guides and gods and close the circle. Recollect all the garnets, for now they are supercharged for bringing in the wealth. I'll be using the loose stones in the next video in this series, the money spell. And of course, the jewelry I can just wear to keep the energy of the ritual fresh and perpetually working. And in the spirit of keeping the energy moving, not, hoarding wealth like a dragon and damming the flow, I have more of these bracelets than I strictly need. This was intentional. I have a few extra to pass on to some people in my life so that they too can have a magically charged wealth-generating bracelet. Selfishness is not a healthy companion to abundance, and I wanted to be sure I made a gesture that honored the spirit of plenty for all. And that's my recipe for calling in the flow of wealth and abundance. It's been a very involved process, and we still have yet to perform the actual money spell. But I'm determined to take this work seriously. I mean, who's got time to be experimenting with piddling results? Not I! So we like to go all out on this channel. I hope you'll join me for the final abundance ritual, calling in the money. Look for that coming soon. But for now, keep the magic wild.